They said it was only a tiny lie, a small joke, something harmless. But before the day ended, that tiny lie grew into a dark cloud that covered 3 innocent names. Because when one egg rots, my child, the whole basket begins to smell. And when one heart goes astray, even those who stand beside it can be stained. This is the story of Musa, Amina, and Bashir. 3 friends who once walked side by side. 3 friends whose laughter filled the streets, until one careless moment broke everything they had. The day began with bright sunlight pouring over the small town. Birds sang on tree branches. People swept their doorsteps. Children chased each other, their feet kicking dust into the air. The smell of early cooking drifted around. Fresh bread, warm porridge, sweet fruit. In that lively town lived the 3 friends. Musa, the fast talker, always joking, always smiling. Amina, quiet, thoughtful, gentle. Bashir, soft-spoken, friendly, calm. Everyone admired them. People used to say, "Look at those 3. One heart, one mind, one step." But even the thickest rope breaks at its weakest point. That morning was hotter than usual. The sun sat in the sky like a bright flame, watching everything. At the corner of the busy street sat a fruit seller with a table full of oranges. Round, bright, shining like little suns. Musa stared at them. His eyes shifted left, right. He leaned closer to his friends and whispered, "Let's take just one. Just one orange. He won't notice." Amina gasped, "Musa, don't even say that." Bashir shook his head. "We are not thieves. Don't joke like that." But Musa laughed softly. "You 2 worry too much. It's only one orange. Watch. It's easy." And before they could stop him, before they could shout his name, before they could grab his arm, Musa's hand moved. The orange disappeared into his pocket. Then, "Thief!" The fruit seller's voice exploded like thunder. The noise of the street died. People turned. Children stared. A crowd gathered in seconds, and though only one boy stole, 3 names were shouted. 3 faces were pointed at. 3 hearts carried the shame. By afternoon, the story had changed. Someone said they stole 3 oranges. Another said they stole money. By evening, someone whispered they joined a gang. A simple mistake became a monster. Amina's mother cried quietly at home. Bashir's father did not shout. His silence hurt more. Musa's mother prayed and wiped her tears, but Musa only clenched his jaw. "It was just an orange," he whispered angrily. "Just one stupid orange." Deep down, he knew it was not the orange. It was his pride. And pride, my child, can blind you even when the sun is shining right in your eyes. The next day, their teacher, Mr. Idris, called them to his office. He looked tired, disappointed. "A single rotten egg," he said, "ruins the whole basket. Even if the others are clean, the smell will touch them." Amina looked down. Tears filled her eyes. Bashir swallowed hard, ashamed. But Musa crossed his arms, annoyed. "People will forget," he said outside. But they didn't. People never forget a story of shame, even when it's twisted. Days passed. The world around them changed. Children avoided them on the street. Some adults whispered as they walked by. Some didn't bother to whisper. They pointed. At the community hall, at the market, even at the place of prayer. Eyes followed them, heavy and cold. Amina prayed harder. Bashir tried explaining, but gossip speaks louder than truth. And Musa's heart grew darker. "If the world sees me as a thief," he said one night, "maybe I should become one." Amina cried. "Musa, don't say that!" But the seed had been planted. That night, Musa dreamed of a basket of eggs. One cracked. Its smell filled the air. Soon all the eggs turned black. When he woke, sweat covered his face. He didn't understand it, but the dream was a warning. Weeks later, the town held its biggest festival of the year. Music filled the air. People wore bright clothes. Drums beat like a racing heart. Dancers moved like water. The whole town sparkled with color and joy. Every school prepared a performance for the town leader. Mr. Idris looked at the three friends and said, "You will act in the school play. Show us what truth means." They wrote a story, their own story, but they changed the names. It was about three friends. One lied, two suffered. During the play, the crowd laughed, clapped, and enjoyed the performance. But when it ended, the town leader stood up and said, "This story carries pain. Whoever wrote it knows the weight of shame." Then his eyes landed on Musa. Silence spread. Children stopped moving. Even the wind seemed to pause. Something inside Musa cracked open. That night, while the moon shone bright, Musa walked alone to the market. The fruit seller was closing his stall, humming softly. Musa's legs shook. His voice was weak. "Sir, it was me. I took the orange. My friends were innocent. Please, please forgive me." The old man looked at him for a long time. Then he placed a hand on Musa's shoulder. "My son," he said kindly, "it takes courage to speak the truth. I forgive you. But remember, one lie can burn 1,000 truths." Musa began to cry. He felt something inside him grow lighter, softer. The next morning, the fruit seller stepped into the middle of the market and shouted, "People, listen. These children were innocent. The boy has spoken the truth." People stopped walking. Mothers sighed with relief. Fathers nodded slowly. Whispers filled the air, this time softer, kinder. Amina and Bashir stood behind Musa. Their hands shook, but their hearts felt free. Mr. Idris smiled quietly. "A broken pot," he said, "can still hold water if the hands that fix it are honest." The crowd clapped. The weight lifted. From that day, Musa changed. He helped older people carry their loads. He cleaned the streets. He spoke gently. He listened before talking. People noticed. Children began calling him Musa the Honest. Even the fruit seller invited him to sit and drink tea sometimes. One day, Bashir asked, "Why do you still help people who once called you a thief?" Musa smiled softly. "Because forgiveness is stronger than anger," he said, "and the truth has no enemy." Time moved quietly. The children grew into adults. Amina became a teacher who told children stories about honesty. Bashir became a leader in the community, respected and calm. And Musa opened his own fruit stall, right at the place where everything once fell apart. Every morning he gave away the first orange for free. When people asked why, he said, "So no child will ever feel tempted to steal sweetness." He became a man of peace. His past became a guiding light, even many years later, when the evening wind blew across the town. Elders gathered children by the fire and began with the same words. Once, in this very place, 3 friends learned that when one egg rots, the basket smells. Children listened with wide eyes. Some laughed, some went quiet, but all remembered, because a story filled with truth never dies. Listen, if you walk with someone who does wrong, people will not wait to ask if you did it. Their shadow will fall on you too. A name is heavier than iron. Once stained, it is hard to clean. But truth, even whispered, shines brighter than the sun. A tongue that lies once will tremble forever. A single rotten egg can spoil the soup, but one honest heart can save the feast. So choose your friends wisely. Walk with the truthful, speak with the humble, and remember Musa, the boy who turned shame into honor, who learned that truth can break chains, and that one honest confession can clean a whole basket. The storyteller smiles softly and says, "Now go, my child. Tell this story again. Stories like this are not meant to be forgotten. Because when you stand for truth, even your past becomes light. And when you choose honesty, you become the good egg that saves the basket."